I suggested you not to go through watching this video, unless you want to. I'm yet thankful for you to stick around more than 10 minutes. Some of these characters are drawn by my own hand, which is the first draft. They are not final until I know what I have missed. I added names to lovable characters. I think it's cooler, no further explanation. I matched up the couples you may not stomach with, but this is my project, and the final approval is with readers and their staff of the enemy. To let you know, the most notable works is what I highlight them to be the best in my eyes, even though some don't think so. I will go through this only one time, even though you still may comment. I know you would do that anyway. If you have any disagreements with some actors, feel free to tell me why. But here are some rules. They cannot be the voices of any other characters of the 10 animes. There at least have to be a voice actor or an actor that has a profession in the animated features that you may like. I don't care if they was in a Young Trenches education program. We are not doing the full-blooded Asian voice cast yet. That would take weeks since I know quite fluent Japanese and speak standard Japanese. No slang much. We can't be racial here. Since I already just pulled that out, you wanna know why? You don't know if I had to use a character in some of the pre-stories, and we just can't go through that. One last thing, I plan to revive or already some characters you love. Thank you. This is FMA Vichivo here to bring you on the breakdown of the voice casting call. Hopefully, the Black Wolfbound and Edward join forces together to defeat an evil drug lord named Lamala. So they combine all their powers, whatsoever, supernatural powers to defeat, his cronies. And that has been the breakdown of the voice casting call, hopefully, of FMA Wolfbound. Thank you. Okay, first we have here is Vic Mignogna as Edward Eric, and his most notable works is in Only Fullmetal Alchemist and Kakashi, because the other sucks for now. Just to let you know, Yoshinari Sumimura is his character in Kakashi. Cause you want to know why I say that? I say that because, he's not fit to be any other character than those two characters in any other anime. It's just not, I'm just not feeling it. But when you see his character, Yoshinari, he has, people might betray him as very lazy and arrogant, but I view him, he's more nicer than Eric, even though really like, I kind of have this crush on Eric. But he has a sweeter side to him, regardless. A much caring side, and how he treats people. He views them as a very great friend or so important, but yet he still have his troubles in the past with his brother and his ongoing battle between him and his grandfather. So that's why, I like Yoshimura and his character in Kakashi. Next is Aaron Dismuke as Alphonse Eric, and his most notable works is in Only Fullmetal Alchemist as Alphonse and Fruits Basket as Hiro Soha. That's it, just the only two. There's gonna be pretty much more like this on the way. We have Jason Libreche as Alphonse Heiderich, and his most notable works is in One Piece as Rob Lucky, Shin-Chan as Percival Inch. To tell you the truth, I was really surprised that he voiced this character in Shin-Chan, because he sounds, pretty far different from his character in Shin-Chan. But I really also yet to like his character in the school. You have these teachers here. He's pretty much like an outcast. As I know, his character comes from Mexico, and he came to Japan to be a teacher. I don't know why, but I don't know. I have to, watch it all over again, because I pretty much have been watching Shin-Chan for a while. Next we have Scott McNeil as Honhai Eric, and his most notable works is in Gundam Wing as Dual Maxwell, Inuyasha as Koga, Milk-Chan as Pastel Mr. Shin, Courage the Cowardly Dog as the Baby Eggplant, Home Movies as the Homeless Guy, and Tom and Jerry Tales as Uncle Peso, and Dead Rising 2 as Chef Antoine. So from Inuyasha as Koga, it was like pretty much the same thing that went on with Principal Edge in Shin-Chan, and you see his character in Dual Maxwell in Gundam Wing, which is pretty much obvious. Of course, he was the Baby Eggplant in Courage the Cowardly Dog. I don't know which number that episode is in, but it's about these eggplants arise against the humans from eating them. Mirio was planning to enter into some kind of eggplant contest, the eggplant cooking contest. So if you look upon that episode and hear him as the baby eggplant. Sorry, my nose is kind of acting up again. But in the home movies, as the homeless guy, I really didn't see his character that well. I looked it up too. The Tom and Jerry Tales is Uncle Pesos, sorry, is that I kind of knew this character too. It's kind of like, some kind of cowboy wearing a hat. But I also made note of that. We have as Warner Mustang. His most notable works is in Naruto as Yugo, One Piece as Perkins the Ace, which is like one of my favorite characters in One Piece, or in Host High School Club as Takashi, Son the Hedgehog as Knuckles. I really, was about to put Knuckles the Echina, but we all know who Knuckles is and what he is and what he does, so it's pretty much obvious. And Shin-Chan we have here is Kenta and the Phantom Scarecrow. Street Fighter and Tekken as Guild and Saints Row the Third. I'm not sure what his character is in Saints Row the Third, but I made sure I looked that up because I'm really looking forward to play that game, since I played Saints Row and Saints Row 2, but not 3 yet. And going back to Shin-Chan, I only kind of mostly have a memory of the Phantom Scarecrow. I think it was like one of Action Bastard's, arch enemies. That's what I think, his character portrayed in. But, that's most likely is it. We have here is Colin Clickenbeard as Rosanna Mustang, and her most notable role is in One Piece as Luffy. I mean, he's like one of my most favorite characters in One Piece. And she, her portrayal as a male character, she's like the only one to date is my favorite. And because all the others, like Mel Flanagan and Colin, Shaughnessy. No, it is Shaughnessy. Sorry about that. It's kind of quite hard for me to still pronounce that. But also, her most notable words is in Fullmetal Alchemist as Rose. What I said earlier about, my, intro, everything went out like that. But if it's, I just had to pull this out because Rose is also my favorite character in Fullmetal Alchemist. Peach Girl as Misao Aki, Shin-Chan as Hima and Maso, and Trinity Blood as Esther Blanchard. Glass as Remy Rockbear Eric, and her most notable works is in One Piece is Nefertari Vivi, one of my other favorite characters from One Piece, Lupin the Third, Island of Assassin, as Ellen. I haven't seen a movie yet, or yet to know how many movies. I only know one so far. Or in Host High School Club as Harui Fujioka, which is also my other characters from that anime. Shin-Chan is Miss Anderson, one of the teachers at the school who wears a bow in her head. In her head, and it's a ponytail, which is obvious. Street Fighter and Tekken as Cammy. As Russell Tringham, and his multiple works is in Yu Yu Hakusho as Yusuke Urameshi, Dragon Ball Z as Raditz and Superboo, Shin-Chan as Han Solo. I swear he was like a pig in the Shin-Chan Star Wars. One of my most favorite from an anime. And others include Robot Chicken and Family Guy. And this is one of the best anime who has, made it so good so far. Peach Girl as Juro and One Piece as Bellamy. I swear, Bellamy, I think that's like a girl's name. I'm not sure I looked at his character well enough, but You know, it just as soon as I see the characters again in One Piece. And as Fletcher Tringham, and his most notable works is in The Last Airbender as Aang and the Bully. I'm about to say Billy. But I think he was, the character Lucas in the Ant Bully. If not, I, see what I did wrong, because I will be making a video after this, which is a review like I did many others. And going back to The Last Airbender, I'm not sure if that's like an anime. It's like a little debate goes along, like if it's an anime or not. I'm not sure, because there are different, staff than in Japanese that works on these cartoons, like the Korean staff, the Taiwanese, staff, or the Chinese staff. Man, I just said it. But I'm sure most likely it was in the works of the Korean staff, which they do very good work in the Boondocks, which I watched that cartoon also. And they're also behind, the coloring and many other things in SpongeBob. I'm not sure. But we all know most likely The Last Airbender is sort of a cartoon, just a regular cartoon for right now. We have Lena McKay as Trisha Eric. Her most notable works is in One Piece as Lucky, Shin-Chan as Patty Milfer, Trigun Batless Rumble as Amelia's mother, Little as Nina Tucker, 15. Her most notable works is in Gilmore Girls as Rory, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series as Lena Caligaris, and Sin City as Becky. And why I brought up Nina Tucker and you just previously seen Trisha, because Resurrection is a part of FMA Wolfbound, and near soon you're about to see like a few more. But as she gets older, when she will grow up, I would have to do a drawing, her, as a 15-year-old, as we about to do this next one too. She Hughes, 11 most notable works is in Light Light, Child Party, and School, superhero movie as Jill Johnson, Hounded as Tracy Richburg. She will also have a drawing of her at 11 years old. Smith as Penia Johansenberg. Most notable works is in the Matrix series as Naomi, the Madagascar series as Gloria the Hippo, Menace to Society as Ronnie, Jason Slater as Lyric, the Nutty Professor as Carla, Scream 2 as Maureen Evans, Set It Off as Lita, Princess Mononoke as Toki, Heartthrob as Christina Heartthrob, Wu as Darlene, and A Different World as Lena James. So this will not be her first time in an animated feature. It's kind of like her third one so far, as I know. I only know a few others, but I can't remember it now. Sin as Naruto Uzumaki, Why you see him as Naruto Uzumaki? I'm not sure, but I know they're going to change it at the last minute. You know, like replacing Mel Flanagan. You know, towards the end of Naruto. But I know there would be someone before him. So we're gonna do that in the other reviews or so. His most notable works is in the Star Wars episode older Anakin Skywalker, Jumper as David Rice, and Takers as AJ. Begins as Sakura Uzumaki. Yes, I'm a Naru Saku fan. You know, if you don't like it, you know, there'll be you then, because this is my opinion. And I'm a big time fan for Naru Sasuke. Not no Naru Hina. Okay, moving on. Her most notable works is in Bobo as Dimbo, Bleach as Karin Kurosaki, one of my favorite characters from Bleach, Code Geass as C2. I was about to put, you know, the two C's, but since they haven't found a meaning behind her name yet, I'm gonna call it C2, not because, you know, the English dub say so, because it's obvious it's two C's. Eureka 7 as Taoho, Kakashi as Miss Oyoki, Marmalade Boy as Mako, Zatchbell as Megumi Omui, Sonic the Hedgehog series as Tails. As Jiraiya Nishibayashi, most notable works in Only Naruto as Jiraiya, and Kakashi as Shimura Suemura, hands down. You know, wanna know why? That is, he is fit for both of those characters than any other. I see his other works as Bleach so far. Thankfully, because if it was like for any other, I would have lost it. You know, he is not fit to be Kenpachi Zaraki. I'm just not feeling his character there. It's just hard to hear it. But that's my opinion. Whereas as Tsunade Nishibayashi, most notable works and only in Naruto as Tsunade, hands down. And why I say that, I just can't see her in any of the other animes, even one of the 10 animes, if she ever done that. But she is perfect for Tsunade. 10 times perfect. Nothing else. As Sasuke Uchiha, and why you see him after, you know, Naruto and Sakura and so far on, it's because I do this by relation, by family, by husband, by wife, by children, by brother, you know, above anything else in the family, you know, our best friend. Yuri's most notable works is in Ben 10 Alien Force as Ben Tennyson, also Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, Bleach as Keigo Asano, Prince of Persia as the Prince, in all 3 of the games. I'm not sure if it's, you know, the Prince of Persia, you know, a rebooted, which was awful to me. Okay, Afro Samurai as Gino, Blue Dragon as Shu, Bobo as Rice, and Megaphone, Code Geass as Suzaku Kurugi, one of my characters, you know, favorite characters in Code Geass, even though I might despise him a bit since, you know, he's on a different side than Zero. which is played by Johnny Young Bosch. Dora as Shiran Hishitani, the young doctor who wears the glasses. No, who's like in love with Celty. Assassin's Creed 2 as Very DePassy. Men in Black 3, yes, Men in Black 3, the upcoming one in, think, next month of May 2012 as Knuckles. You know, when I look at this name, I'm like, is he gonna be like one of the Sonic Hedgehog characters come to life and helping KJ throughout, you know, the time travels? Because I know it involves both of them time travel back to meet, you know, the much younger K. We have here the regular show as Adam, Rain Master as Harukuri, which I, you know, love that anime too. It's, you know, been, well, I knew it ended, you know, not that far away, you know, from the ending. Moribito as Toya, Marmalade Boy as Gita Suo, Mare as Elvis, as Hinata Hyuga Uchida. Man, I know you're looking at this name right now like, oh, come on. Why it couldn't be Naruto? Sorry, I'm a Naruto Sasuke fan, a Sasuhina fan, and also a Jugo and Karin fan, which I think is, you know, I don't know yet how they put it. Nobody has ever thought of the pairing yet, but I call them like Juka. But yes, I'm not a fan of Naruhina. Sorry. Her most notable works is in FLCL as Mamimi Sam Mija, one of my favorite characters in Fully Cooey. Yeah, that's also what his name is. Zatch Bell as Penny, Paranoid Agent as Kamome-kun, Burn as Kakashi Hatake. Yes, that's him holding some kind of weird looking bunny. His most notable works is in Digimon as Henry Wong, Final Fantasy Advent Children as Yazoo, Witch Hunter Robin as Michael Lee, Zatch Bell as Parker Forgor, Punigon, as Karina Yuhi Hatake. Yes, we doing it again. Just to let you know, I'm a fan. Just a fan. Screw you other fans that could be so immature. Most notable works is in Gia as Gia Marie Karangi, The Bone Collector, Girl Interrupted, Gone in 60 Seconds, Lara Croft Tomb Raider movie series as Lara Croft, Tale as Lola, Alexander as Olympias, Mrs. and Mrs. Smith, James Smith, The Tourist, Salt as Evelyn Salt, Walter as Fox, Beowulf as Grandel's mother. I'm sure I said Mrs. and Mrs. Smith instead of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Well, not, you know, you already seen it on here that is really Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And the reason why I didn't put, you know, her as what character she plays in, but it's going to be pretty much obvious as you see her in one of the movie scenes, or just suddenly hear her voice while you know, watching the animated features. That's all. That's pretty much all. Gibbons as Shikamaru Nara, His most notable roles in The Princess Tennis, Yuta Fuji, and Grinder for Life, Chuck. I know Grinder for Life, must have been on Fox or ABC, but if you see him in one of those episodes, it's Chuck. There you go. As Tamari Nara, her most notable work is in Passion, the TV drama series, as the nurse number 1. I'm guessing it must have been the very first episode, or one of the first episode as nurse number 1. But you're going to see her in one of those episodes, because I know her before watching her in the Snapple commercials. Gilmore Girls as Shelley, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien as Jennifer Nocturne, along with her husband, Yuri Lowenthal. Yes, you're married. For you newcomers who don't know that, because I know a lot of newcomers who don't know this. Bleach as Lisa Yadomaru, Mary as Queen, Moribito as the second queen. Funny, queen, second queen. Rainmaster as Reno. Wow, she's also worked alongside Yuri with this. Final Fantasy 13 and Infamous 2. As Kiba Inosuka. His most notable works is in One Piece, Street Fighter 4 as Ryu, Fruits Basket, Sonic the Hedgehog as Bit the Cat, and Fullmetal Alchemist. I think that's either Ryu. I have not ever pronounced his name wrong before, because I'm pretty good, sounding out Japanese names. It's not that hard. You just gotta put a little motivation to it. That's all. As Hanami Hyuga, her most notable works is in The 13 Year, The Girl Waiting for the Drink. I don't know, it must be, a water fountain in the public, or somewhere at a soda stand. The Panic Room as Sarah Altman, Catch That Kid, Zathura as Lisa, the Twilight movie series as Bella Swan, Adventureland, and In the Land of Women. As we do know, we do have fans of Kristen Stewart as Bella Swan. You could pretty much watch, the series. It's pretty good. I like Twilight, but I'm more of a big time Harry Potter fan than, Twilight fan. It's kind of like a rival thing going on. But man, they keep winning awards at the MTV Movie Awards. It just don't seem fair. There was only one, I think, last year that went on. Tom Felton. But man, you should have seen the face of Emma Watson as soon as she didn't get that award. It's kind of sad. As Neji Hyuga, his most notable roles is in Bleach, Toshiro Hisugaya, Final Fantasy Advent Children as Kadaj. And while you see him as Neji Hyuga, Toshiro would not be what he also voices. It would be another voice actor, I came up with, like a replacement. Drew Dovis as Tintin Hyuga. Her most notable works is in Toy Story and Full House. Hey Arnold as Big Petty Smith. Patti Smith, the bully of Hilda Pateki, the Batman as Barbara Gordon and the Batgirl. I think that's, one of the new ones. 'Cause I swear she was like much younger. She was pretty much younger, like 14 or 15. I don't know, I'll check that out. Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter, and Tekken as Sakura. So I guess she's Sakura in Street Fighter 4 and Super Street Fighter 4. Wow, you just had to put Super Street Fighter, I wonder what's good about that. I think maybe it's on the DSi or 3DS, whatever. There Robbie Reyes as Choji Akimichi. His most notable works is in The Brady Bunch as Cousin Oliver. The very cute blonde kid with the glasses, but now we know he's grown older now. Final Fantasy X as Maroda, Balto as Star, Termination Salvation as Griffin, Bleach, and Moribito. That's right, in Moribito, he was like one of the guards of the royal family. You could just hear his voice and say, man, I swear, that's Robbie Reyes, the one who voices Choji Akimichi. Stira Prince as Shino Aburame. His most notable work is in Only on Naruto as Shino Aburame. I know, there was another voice actor that also voices Shino in one of the earlier Naruto episodes, but I'm not sure why, but we'll explain it more as we get to the one who used to voice Shino in Naruto. But that's only on Naruto. And as Rock Lee, most notable works is in Only in Naruto as Rock Lee and Alpha and Omega as Salty. They're just pretty much all same thing, none explanation. Konoharu Satorubi, his most notable works is in Ben 10 Alien Force as Kevin Levin, the lovable Kevin Levin, Teen Titans as Beast Boy, one of my favorite characters in Teen Titans. Ultimately, I love Teen Titans too. All Grown Up as JR, the Teenage Mutant Turtles as Michelangelo, the 2012 series, which I am surprised, that they would come up with another series. Kids Next Door as Number 1600, Fish Hook as Steve Jackson. As Moegi Sanja. Her most notable works is in Good Luck Charlie, Teddy Duncan, which I watch, pretty much only half of the episodes because you can find use the good ones and then you just don't want to go through, the others. Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakle, which I should have said, blah, ugh. Lemonade Mouth as Olivia White, which I would watch that like five more times because that movie is just so awesome. Well, not to compare it as The Simpsons, but we're not talking about The Simpsons right now. And The Secret World of Arrietty. This will not be her first, time in an anime feature. I think this is around about her third time or so because I know she voices other characters in cartoons, but this is her first one in an anime movie, which is by Hayao Miyazaki. I just love Miyazaki I love all his movies that he has ever came out with. But my most favorite out of that is Spirited Away. I can watch that, more than any other, a big hit. One of the most notable, the most successful anime movie that's made it, into the United States. If there's an anime movie that's made it big in the United States, like over 200 million, you're in. As Oda Mitsutura, his most notable works is in the Transformers movie series as Sam, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, Even Stevens, the series and the movie, and Holes, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind as Asbel, which did also not be a first time for him to be in an anime feature. Constantine, Surf's Up, Indiana Jones, and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I was about to put his character name, but I was just going through many others. These are a lot of voice actors, behind the anime characters. And the Proud Family as Johnny McBride. I know his character, the one who's in the wheelchair who falls in love with Penny, or it just goes the other way. Okay, next we have Lion O'Brien as Gaara Hero. And his most notable works is in Only in Naruto as Gaara, and Darksider, which is the game, as the Horseman. None other, because I know he is Joshiro in Bleach. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's like other characters in Naruto, which is, ridiculous. But only in Naruto and Darksiders. As Kankura Hero, most notable works in Only in Naruto as Kankuro. None else. I know he's Kisuke Urahara in Bleach and Marmalade Boy as one of the main characters. I'm not sure of any others. But there's only a few more animes that in which character he voices, but only Naruto. Only Naruto. I see as Ino Yamanaka Hero. I can't believe I, said that right. Although I kinda had it wrong, in the beginning. Her most notable works is in Only in Naruto as Ino Yamanaka. Because I know she also voices Konohamaru and Udon, a few other characters in Naruto, and then I think she voices other characters in Bleach, Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, I know, it's pretty much obvious, but you pretty much can think she also is in Ghost in the Shell, or if I'm wrong, but I'll check that later. Now, the voice actor that used to play Shino, but yet voices Baki, and yet also. So we have here Sam Riegel as Baki. Shut on, adding the name, just had to. His most notable works is in Only in Naruto as Baki so far. And why I say that so far, I'm really looking forward to, hear what, whatever else voice, opportunities that I missed that he voices characters in. I might have missed that opportunity, but I was, I'm trying to get all of this, complete. As Ichigo Kurosaki. His most notable works is in Trigun, Fashion Stampede, Wolf's Rain as Kiba, Blue Dragon as Blow, wow, Blow, Bow Jiggler, Dora Dora as Izaya Orihara. Is that I can't seem to hate this character in the anime, even though he comes as very cruel, very annoying, and play tricks with people so far. Mind games. Eureka 7 as Renton Thurston, and Naruto Shippuden as Gemma, Shiranui, and Sasori. And which was pretty amazing that he was Gemma. I mean, not Gemma, it was Sasori in Naruto Shippuden. I didn't kind of notice it like that or pay attention quite so well to it. But soon, as soon as I get that DVD, I'm gonna watch like Naruto all over again. Until 90 so far, before the episode which Jiraiya and Tsunade whatsoever, yes, I made a video of that also about protesting against the Naruto Shippuden plot. Okay, and also have a problem with Eureka 7 Renton Thurston. He will be also kind of replacement for a new voice actor who will voice Renton Thurston. Anyway, it would be as he's getting older and we pretty much understand like a more mature voice. And let's see, Wolf's Rain Kiba, because he's also replaced by a new voice actor too. And while you see Wolf's Rain and Naruto here, to rephrase, if I didn't say it before, I'm going to say it again. If they're not, characters from, if they're not characters, in one of the 10 animes that I put out here, that's fine. They're, because they already replaced or somewhat, most likely replaced. But I can add, if they're in one of the other 10 animes instead of their own. Like, he's in Bleach. He can't be in Wolf's Rain and Eureka 7 at the same time. That would be kinda, they do a pretty good job, but still, it's not gonna happen when this movie thing takes off. As Rukia Kurosaki, most notable works in Code Geass, Euphemia Libertania, Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex as Toku's wife, Rainmaster as Ellie, as Crying as Ayase Terada, Trigun as Lisa, Witch Hunter Robin as Eureka Dojima, Wolf's Rain, and Zatchbell as Naomi. Now, I would like to take a moment here. Like, there's been like a ruse between versus the Ichiruki fans and the Ichihime fans. And she most likely would end up in Ichigo. So I don't know what these, Ichihime fans are fussing about. But the new low for me, the new low for them is when it seemed like they were kind of retaliating against Mr. Kubo, the creator of Bleach. Yes, that was just a new low. They stooped to that level. Ichihime fans, stop bitching. It is so immature. You don't see me just raining out against, Ichihime fans. I have a reason. It is yet obvious. And it's been Rukia and Ichigo for the past few years. Even when she was gone, all he was thinking about is Rukia, not Orihime. She could have just made a move. She couldn't just over her top or something just to make a move or something. She could have just tried something, but she did nothing. I could look up a summary right now and just point that out to you that she did absolutely nothing. Stop bitching. It is so annoying. It could be a rant. That's acceptable, but going against Mr. Kubo, that is not cool. Not cool at all. I swear, if I ever hear something about that again, I swear I will put someone on the map. 10 of you on the map. Because this is just, pretty much, I can most likely do it, and I will. Thank you. And as Ryo Ishida, most notable words in a Goofy movie, Matt's Goof, so he's a very good candidate for the replacement. Lion King 2, Summer's Pride, Fallout 2, Status Shock as Richard Foley and Foley, also known as Gear, Spirited Away as Haku, Silent Showdown as Chase Young. Actually, that's one of my favorite antagonists, of Silent Showdown. It's like a combination of a dragon and a human. Afro Samurai as Sasuke in Final Fantasy 13 2. I don't say 13 part 2. I just say, just get right to it. As Orihime Yoshida. Most notable works in Adventures of Billy and Manny as Manny, Dallas Showdown as Kimiko Tohomiko, The Last Airbender as Princess Azul, Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. as Daphne, Fairly Odd Parents as the evil, nasty Vicky, which I hate, American Dad as Akiko Yoshida, Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. Okay, as I was saying, Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi as Yumi, Generator Rex as Dr. Rebecca Holiday, Price as Yasutora, aka Chad Sato. Most notable works in Only in Bleach as Yasutora, aka Chad Sato so far. Again, I'm really looking forward to see more of his opportunities in the anime works. Wainwright as Renji Abarai. His most notable works is in Final Fantasy Advent Children, Zatch Bell as Virago, Kakashi as Habuki. Sorry. Man, No, that was so weird. Garfield gets real as John Arbuckle. Yes. Garfield's owner plus his servant. Jimmy Neutron as Carl Weezer. And The Tonight Show with Jay Leno as the announcer. He's been in many of the Jay Leno episodes as the announcer. And Jimmy Neutron, when you look at, he was this character in Jimmy Neutron. It's very, very weird character. Very geeky character in Naruto. sorry. I'm bringing up Naruto. I'm saying here Jimmy Neutron because I know Jimmy Neutron. That's a good show. That's one of my favorite Americano cartoons. And he sounds so different. It's like, with Jason LeBrechet. They sound pretty much far away from, the character that's not, that's really like far away from their personality. Well, voice actors really supposed to have a different personality than themselves anyway. Taylor as Yoriichi Shunon Arbara. Her most notable verse is in Archer, Lana Kane. She's one of my favorite characters in Archer because I do watch that show, of course. Boondocks as Luna. When Riley's and Huey's grandpa finally finds a date, she turns out to be crazy and everything. Friends as Charlie Wheeler. Looks like kind of a nice name for a girl. Charlie Wheeler. I think I would need one of my kids that. Maybe. Dan Warren as Badika Kuchiki. Most notable words in Only Bleach as Badika Kuchiki and Dora as Shiki so far. And congratulations, you both. Y'all now on YouTube. Susan Eisenberg as Rangiku Matsumoto Kuchiki. Yes, I just did it again. Bit time ran, Bayuka or something. No, but seriously, I'm a bit time Rangiku and Bayuka couple fan. My favorite couples is in any anime that I watch. If not, we're gonna find one from another anime. Her most notable works is in Justice League series, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, Wonder Woman, Star Wars The Force Unleashed as Shakti, Jackie Chan Adventures as Viper, Jet 2 as Ashland. Here's replacing Toshiro Hisugaya's voice actor is Keith Silverman. His most notable works is in Bleach, The Diamond Dust Rebellion, Sojiro Kusaka. Again, about mentioning, certain animes that's the same. But as Sojiro Kusaka, this is like one of my most favorite movies. I'm gonna keep saying it. To, something more than, Bleach Hill chapter. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm not sure, it compares its gloriness to Diamond Dust Rebellion. And now we have here is Dora as Tom Takana. I was about to say Tom Hanks is first, but which would have been funny, but no. I'm reading here and Takana here. Iron Cross as Inuyasha Jaconohi. His most notable works is in L Change the World as Elf, Nana as Ginpei, Ranma one half as Ranma Satome. So this is mostly the main character is my most favorite character in all the animes and cartoons. That's pretty much it. As Kagome Higurashi, Yokoku no Hi, and her most notable works is in Hamtaro as Laura Haruna, Ranma one half as Princess Ori, X-Men Evolution, the animated series as Amanda Selton, and Sabrina's Secret Life as Hilda and Zelda Spellman. As Shishomaru Jaconohi. His most notable works is in Ratchet & Clank series, Clank, Up, Newsreel Announcer, Death Note, Koriyoshi Kitamura, Happy Gilmore as the reporter, X2 X-Men United as the TV host uncredited, and Assassin's Creed 2. If you ever look at the second X-Men movie, you should see him as the TV host. Okay. But, it won't take you that long to see him, when you get to that scene. But there's his picture right there. As Kagura Jikoku no Hi, and her most notable works is in Bratz Fashion Pixies as Cymbeline, Card Captor Sakura as Sakura's mother, and Eddie as Sarah, and Lee Kinker. Ranma one half is Hanako Nihomiya, Sabrina the animated series as Layla Lay and Bosley, Muchalucha as Dragonfly and the Sabrina twins, Little Cartwright as Lisa, Tom and Jerry as Kitty, and the Karate Kid as Mary Beth. As Morocco Kuro, and his most notable work is in Mortal Kombat King Gerard, X-Men Evolution, the anime series again, and Scott Summers, which I also know as Cyclops, Hantaro as Noel, Hikaru Nogo as Ito, Momosu Gundam Wing in Endless Waltz, and Gundam Wing is Troy Barton. Card Captors as, Card Captor Sakura is Sakura's dad. Sheridan as Sako Kuro, and her most notable works is in Nana as Nanaka Matsu, which if you're a fan of Nana, also her name is Hachi. And Card Captor Sakura as Nikki, Hat Roots as Shino, Powerpuff Girls Z as Princess Morbucks, Death Note the TV reporter, and Barbie movie series as Barbie Millicent Roberts. She's one of my favorite voice actors too, because she also voices Barbie in Barbie movies. Like, there is no such as a replacement in her being in the Barbie movie. I swear, if it comes through that, I can't bear to watch Barbie no more if it doesn't have Kelly Sheridan in those movies. As Kohaku Terakashi, and why Daddy McKinnon is not, in here, because let me tell you, like a comparison, really I couldn't find a picture of Danny, and yet I found one of Alice. This is so far his picture here when, him, older. But in comparison, Alex, voiced Kohaku for the first 100 episodes. And then it came to Danny McKinney, who did the rest of the episodes, which is 64. To the final act. Please do not ask me to watch that. I pretty much do not feel, I'm not feeling the final act. It's just all confusing and like so far as the whole plot. Like Kagura, almost gets killed and she dies again. I mean that's stupid and it's like Kikyo. Like she died like 3 times before the final hit. Yes, I know. But that's still it's so ridiculous. I'd rather tell the truth about it instead of just stomaching my way through it. I don't know what the Inuyasha staff was thinking about. I mean, it must have been because, of the new director of the final act. I blame him. Sorry, but, that's the truth. But he's also, since he, voiced in more episodes than Danny, it's really good anyway to bring him back. Bring him back as the older Kohaku. And just to let you know, I, also put Tsukashi in his name because it was originally Songo's too. But I know since she's married, it has changed. Underwood as Shippo Moreau, and his most notable works is in Zoe 101 as Logan Reeves, which I watch, mostly all the Zoe 101 episodes. And my neighbors did the Yamana, so this would not be his first time in the anime field. Because I did check back, about, yes, it's really, like a little movie, some kind of self-education program. Yeah, education program. So he'll be voicing Shippo Moreau, Stella Jillian Michaels, because he can't sound like that forever. He needs to grow up like Naruto. The song as Ren Jikoku no Hi, and her most notable works is in Like Mike, Get a Clue, which is a Disney movie, as Jennifer, another Disney movie, Stuck in the Starbirds, and yet another Winnie Wu the Homecoming Warrior, The Social Network, The Sweet Light of Zack and Cody series as London, and Pass the Plate. And what I like about Pass the Plate, you get to learn about different foods from other countries. Something like it's yet, eating good and learning about the culture at the same time. London's Tipton, Yay Me starring London Tipton, which I like her, this is one of my favorite characters, in Zack and Cody. Her character may come across as very airheaded and not bright enough, but, she has yet a stylish and sassy look and an sassy attitude. We have here Melissa Fawn as Franchose Eric, and her most notable works is in Digimon as Rika Nonaka, Fully Curry as Eri Ninamori, one of Nao's friends, Evader Sim as Gaz, Zatch Bell as Tia, Dora Dora as the Gangura girl, Naruto episode 101, if you can catch, not Shippuden, if you can catch it, on one of the Naruto episodes, Passions as young Esmeralda, Grease stage version as Marty, Samurai Warriors as Akuni. Now before, I get through with this, her name, Eric, yes, she is, to Edward. Because, why not Alphonse? It wasn't going nowhere in the original anime. I just had to compare that. It would be like this ongoing battle between, who Edward should go up with, but I already got it, in plan. Because I think it should be Riri, but he is nowhere near her anyway. And just to let you know, Brotherhood will be always the alternative retelling of the story. The alternative. It just, what people want it to be. And it's not here. You could just keep showing me pictures of Riri and Eric, your little screenshots while watching the last episode, and just post, the information on Wikipedia, the Full Metal Wikipedia, but that's not gonna help. Sorry. It is not gonna help. Always and forever be a turn since, hey, I didn't say it. They say it. That means it confirms my theory. Was not theory. You might as well just call it a point. That's my point. Bitmanglade as Motoko Kusanagi Debosing. Yes, she is married to Shinsume. Most notable works in Only Ghost in the Shell as Motoko Kusanagi. Only that. No other anime. She also voices Kurenai of Naruto, but, it's getting difficult. It's difficult. Nope. It hurts. Like Yagami, his most notable works is in Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, Portrait Rivera Winner, Ranma 1/2 as Moose, X-Men Evolution, the animated series, Nightcrawler, which I was disappointed, that he wasn't in the live action film of X-Men. The second movie. Maybe the third one. Whatever. Street Fighter and Tekken as Jin Kazuma. Okay, you looking at these characters. There are supposedly deceased. But why I say that? If I didn't say it before, resurrection is a part of FMA Wolfbound. Because I know maybe almost to an hour has passed and there could be someone not paying attention. I mean, if you're not paying attention, why are you going through watching this? I told you, you don't have to. But yeah, I do enjoy it. I'm expecting to get, at least 10 views, whatever may come. To save him from his pitiful fate. But really, I wouldn't call it as a resurrection because it would be like going back in time to save him from his pitiful fate. Edward and the rest of the team members go back in time to save him, and he ends up being back alive in people's eyes. But I'm planning, you know, I'm just planning to make him, appear almost at the end of FMA Wolfbound. And then check in as Misa Amane Yagami. Her most notable works is in Only in Death Note as Misa Amane so far, which is sad because I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not just finding her in many. This is like her only opportunity in Death Note. I think she was also in the live action film doing the voiceover, but I'm not seeing anything interesting to me. So we might be able to look upon that soon. And why, Yagami is part of her name is yes, she would be marrying like Yagami towards the end of FMA Wolfbound 2. But she does make an appearance, before that time. And as Saya Atanashi of Arame. Yes, it's a crossover couple. Most notable works is in Blood Plus as Saya Otanashi of Arame so far. I said that's part of her name because in one of the pre-stories before the movie comes, her and Shino kind of hook up together and both the couples go through and get engaged nearly at the second part of the pre-story, which is in another title. Another title. Excuse me, sorry about this. So that's it. As Rented Thurston, his most notable works is in Boys Meets World as Eric Matthews, Secret Saturday is Dole, Batman Beyond as Terry McGinnis, Kim Possible as Ron Stoppable, Thundercats the 2012 series, the new one that just came out, as Lionel, and Kingdom Hearts 2 as Sephiroth Almazi. Anyone from Kingdom Hearts are like the creators of awesomeness. It's like fucking awesome. Portman as Rebecca Thurston. Most notable works is in V for Vendetta, Black Swan as Nino Sayers, Brothers, The Simpsons as Darcy. If you can catch, one of the episodes of The Simpsons with a person named Darcy, that would be her. Marza Ted as Taffydale, Mr. McGarren Warner Emporium. It's like kind of like a tongue twister there. And Your Highness. Savage as Kiwa Genichi. His most notable works is in Little Monsters as Brian, The Princess Bride as the grandson, Jungle Book, Malawi Story, Alton Powers Gold Member, number 3, Flash Nemo, Men in Black 3, as the alien as his bounty hunter in the upcoming Men in Black movie, and Generated Rex is no Family Guy, Season 7, Episode 10, which is himself. So this will not be his first time in the animated feature. let's see. Okay, at the Family Guy, you could catch which is episode sent. I mean, wow. Episode 10 is what you could catch. Name. Excuse me. In which you can catch episode 10, which is named Foxy Lady, is when Lois decides to become a news broadcaster for Fox. Lynn as Cheza Desura. So let you know, she'll be, an incarnation of the original Cheza. But they come from different backgrounds since she is, in the race of a human. Living in Texas, half Japanese, half French. Most notable works is in Kiki's Delivery Service as Mano's granddaughter, Tenchi Muyo as Sasami Masaki Jirai, and Tsunami. The Big O as Tommy, episode 16. I think that was one of the last episode of The Big O. Trigon as Moore. And Dr. Seuss Dolores, which is the latest Dr. Seuss that just came out. Self as Hige Forcing. Most of the works is in Cowboy Bebop as McIntyre. If you ever catch McIntyre in one of the episodes of Cowboy Bebop, it won't be hard to find him. Because mostly, I think there's like 26 episodes in there. Well, somebody in there. I mean, in Cowboy Bebop. Rurouni Kenshin as Eiji Mishima, Totally Spies as Arnold, and Zatch Bell as Marusse. Savage, who is Fred's brother, as Tobo Kenson. His most notable works in Boy Meets World as Corey Matthews, which I love that show, and Chuck as Mark Ratner. I haven't watched, I only watched a few episodes of Chuck because there could be like so many other shows and you can't have the time to watch it. But this is, he's not been the anime feature yet, but I can sense it's not that far away. Because he does has an awesome voice too. Like, a great voice. Man as Susume Debosing, yes, married to Motoko. Most notable works is in Eureka 7 as Holly Novak. May come across as a cruel and uncaring person, but he is that person inside. Which is why I love this character too. But it was surprising that he used to, Holland used to date, Ritten's older sister. Dora as Shijiro Hirojima. Like, this is one of my favorite characters in the anime because, he's a very handsome character, but yet he's nothing to mess with, especially when it comes to Isaiah. I mean, like, when they come together, it's always like cats and dogs fighting. Like, I'm gonna kill you! And Isaiah just sitting there like, we need to, just take it easy. You don't, I might kill you. Okay, Naruto as Itachi Uchiha. Yes, Sasuke's brother, which is awesome too. I also, love Itachi and Naruto. I think, I'm not sure. But he's like one of the cutest characters too. One of the hottest characters in Naruto. I don't know why I say cutest, They just seem like a child's in it. Okay, Final Fantasy 12 as Rude, Koji as Jeremiah Gottwald, Raidmaster as Shuda and Sage Hart, Zatchbell as Wormray, and he's gonna be in the upcoming new Ice Age 3. Which is awesome, but I haven't heard nothing yet about any new updates. It just going up like the third. You know what? Die Hard, Live Free, Die Hard. That's like one of the best ones out of the other ones. Made like over 100 million. That's like the best one. But I don't know, it's gonna be, most likely, it's gonna fall under a 600 million. Hopefully not. It's been doing good. The last one has been the best one so far. I'm here to reveal the Eternagus of FMA Wolfbound. This is the Scorpion game, in which I'm about to tell you. Who's part of the Scorpion game. Okay, we have a first one, Vin Diesel as LaManna. His most notable works is in the Fast and the Furious series, the Triple X series, the Iron Giant, the Chronicles of Riddick series, and Babylon AD. If it came to this, it would not be also not his first animated features, because he also voices Riddick in the animated feature. I think it was like Dark Fury. I'm dying to see that. I know so many years have passed by and I haven't seen it yet. But there is a upcoming, there's an upcoming Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, movie too. I think it's under a different title. That time I looked there at the entertainment, news. But yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to it because the last one was awesome. Even the first one. I could watch the first one like over and over again. And I could put more of his movies, like The Last Man Standing. I'm not sure what the movie called, but he's like a police officer, who goes to the breaking point since someone killed his wife. But I love that movie. I could just put that in. But I don't know what I was doing in the first place. I don't know what. I thought they would just go through, quickly. But I know it would take over an hour for me to get this finished. Used as Charlotte Terrenez. Just to let you know, I think I forgot to put his name, his cousin name, which is LaManna. Yes, LaManna and Charlotte would be, related, because LaManna's real name is Thaddeus Terrenez. But we most likely want to know him by La Mala, and the main antagonist, wants only his, name to be, nickname to be called. He's not very fond of anyone except his cousin. Except his family mainly to be calling him Daddy. But we have here Keanu Reeves as Charles Martinez, most notable works in the Matrix series, Bill and Ted series. Yes, there's a third one that's coming out this year. Point Break, Poetic Justice, Homeless Man accredited, even though the actors may have smart parts in the movie, but as long as they're my favorite, actors and actresses, voice actors and actresses in any feature, I don't care how small it is, as long as they have, only one person. I'm not just gonna put, many other characters, 15 other characters. Unless I like one of them all out of those 15. Next is Speed, the the Animatrix, which I actually watched a few years ago. I think it was like in before the end of Fullmetal Alchemist. Yes, I watched it before the end of it, and I really love it, but I didn't know, which surprised me. I'm just now finding this out as of a month ago, that he was also the voice actor of Neo Anderson. Yes, so this is not his first time with being in an animated feature. Next we have here Street Kings, Johnny Mnemonic, The Devil Advocate, Sweet November, Heartball, Constantine, 47 Ronin, which is the upcoming movie in November 2012, and Cowboy Bebop 2012 also is not set for pre-production. I don't know, it could come across, not that far away, and then the next thing they're going to be done with it. You know how sometimes you can't completely trust Wikipedia updating the information on there all the time. But his part as Spike is bound to happen. You might don't like him acting as Spike in the first place, but it's bound to happen, and we can't do nothing about it. I don't mind, because as long as you are like at least a quarter Asian. Yes, he is of Asian descent, which is Chinese, I think, most likely. It's alright with me. The more Asian, the more better for me. The more better. Or have whatever, the better for me. Yes, first we're going to introduce the Tingle family. Part of the Anton theme. But but first we needed that name to Renee's family. Because they're like, the leaders, the boss of the Scorpion Gang. Anyone, related to the Torres family. Okay, next we have Clancy Brown as Huey Tango. His most notable work is in SpongeBob SquarePants as Mr. Krabs. Play one of my characters, in SpongeBob SquarePants. Cowboy and Aliens, Saints Row as Alderman Richard Hughes, Avatar The Last Airbender as Long Feng, which is quite obvious because you can hear his voice, quite well. American Dad as Jeff's dad. Around the episode of when, something happened between Jeff and Stan. He was trying to lock his son-in-law, his future son-in-law, up before Jeff married Haley. And then his own dad ended up turning him in unexpectedly. And God of War 3 as Hades. Just like Kingdom Hearts, the Kingdom Hearts, series, anyone also from God of War are like creators of awesomeness. Fucking awesome. I just feel for so much nostalgic. I was so nostalgic. When I just found this out. So nostalgic. It's so amazing to know that he voiced one of Kratos' brothers as to view as Hades. He was to me a very scary as character and not to be reckoned with. Even though Kratos did his thing, Hades still, like one of the coolest characters in the God of War 3. Up next is Iron James Corlett as Johnny Tingo. His most notable roles in Dragon Ball Z, Cat Doll, The Mailman, and Mega Man. We have next is Eva Mendes as Nelly Tingo. Her most notable roles in Too Fast, Too Furious, Training Day, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, All About the Benjamins, Ghost Rider, Hitch, and The Spirit, which is all of these are great movies that she has ever been in. I don't care what they say about Ghost Rider. I love Ghost Rider. I even love the second one too, if I can catch it soon. Me and my friends supposed to catch it on the 17th of February, but I guess that didn't happen. So far, I'm going to wait until it comes out on DVD. Joe Hansen as Nori Tingo. Her most notable represent Home Alone 3, Eight-Legged Freaks, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, The Black Dahlia, The Spirit, The Island, The Other Bowling Girl, Iron Man 2, and the upcoming The Avengers, which is in late April or early May. Jerome Bergmeyer as Orojo Tingo, and his most notable works is in Case Closed as Johnny, Dragon Ball Z as Ten Shinham, Fullmetal Alchemist and Brotherhood as Dosero, Kitty Grey as Smith, One Piece as Full Body, Shin-Chan as the Flower, which is also my favorite characters in Shin-Chan. Peach Girl as Raiden, Trinity Blood as Father Hugo de Moto, and Oran High School Host Club. Sorry about that, as Tetsuya. Next we have here Jessica Alba as Amy Tingle, the youngest of the Tingle family. Her most notable roles is in Sin City, Fantastic Four, and Spy Kids 4. Those are the only ones so far. I could put Honey, but I mean there's like so many more movies that I just love her in. But it's like if I'm not able to put more for any voice actor or actor. Here is Taryn Manning as Cherry Jackson. Her most notable works is in Hustle and Flow and The Breed. That's it. That was one of the most interesting works of hers so far that I have. Next we have here is Ralph Fiennes as Solene. His most notable works is in the Harry Potter series as Voldemort, which is one of my favorite antagonists. Clash of the Titans, Hades, the Duchess as the Duke of Devonshire, the Prince of Egypt as Ramsay II, Schindler's List, the Wrath of the Titans, which is another Titans movie, Red Dragon, Wallace and Gromit, The Curse of the Red Rabbit, and Nanny McPhee as Lord Grey. Joe as Daniel Lorre. His most notable works is in Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Have Hair Machete and Desperado, Spy Kids 2 and 4, The Devil Rejects, and King of the Hill as Enrique. Like one of the funny characters in King of the Hill, always right by Dale's side in his, whacked out schemes, or just plain stupid. So also, this will not be his first time in the anime feature. Cruz as Tonja Ashrano, and her most notable works is in Blow. When some people didn't like the movie, I heard they gave her like a Razzie Award for Worst Actress, but not in my eyes. I still love that movie. I haven't watched it in a while, but I can watch it again whenever it comes. Vanilla Sky, Gothica, Sahara, G-Force as Juarez, Sex and the City 2 as Carmen Garcia Garon, and Pirates of the Caribbean or Stranger Tides as Angelica, which is a very pretty name for her character in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Willem Dafoe as Danto Hewalkin. His most notable works is in the Spider-Man series as the Goblin, Triple X as the State of the Union, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which was pretty much obvious seeing, I didn't notice his character was in there, but as you can think, that one character with the dark, he dyed his hair black in this movie, so for some others you don't know him that well, you may be able to spot him now compared to this picture. Finding Nemo and John Carter, one of the movies that came out this year, and The Fantastic Mr. Fox. I put that name as Hewalkin because he's sort of a German and Spanish descent character. Most of Scorpion Game are mostly at least like 45 to 50% of Hispanic descent. Martin as Hanato Shrooms. His most notable works is in Final Fantasy X Advent Children and Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I'm not sure which character. Oh yeah, he's Cloud Strife in the Kingdom Hearts series. I thought he voiced it, in Final Fantasy X, but there wasn't no voice provisions, for voice actors back in those days. It was just text shown on the screen. Bosco is Lime Santos. His most notable works is in Avatar: The Last Airbender as Zuko, Prince Zuko, Hook as Rufio, American Jake Long as Jake Long, which I love, the American Dragon Jake Long, Biker Boys and the Boondocks as Hime. I think he was one of the characters in the episode of when they had this dodgeball championship. Let's see who will win out of both of the teams. And Rufio, I was like, wow, I haven't seen this character in a while, but he's been, doing his little voice acting over, the last 5 years or so. Tori as Manny Akamichi, yes, married to Choji. Even though they're both opposite sides of the law, but they do marry. But actually, she was originally named, her last name was Misotoro, an older sibling of Udon. They pretty much the same, dark hair, glasses, and the texture of their skin. Well, of course, that was sibling is most likely supposed to look like. Okay, her most notable works is in The Big Comfy Couch as Molly, Timothy Goes to School, Resident Evil, the animated movies, and X-Men, the animated series. Pretty much, I think, Evolution or just the original one so far. We have here is Tony Jaa and Zhang Ziyi as Neo and Nia Wu. And his most notable works is in the Ombot series, which I most highlight him, being the best in. I know there's no such thing as being the worst, but I like him in the Ombot series, and that's, the Protector, aka, Warrior King series. And there should be, there's a new one that's coming out in 2012, or, it already came out. But I watched that movie like over 5 times because it's that awesome. Besides it being in Thai, being in the Thai language. That's like one of the best things about Thai so far. Okay, the most notable words, her most notable words, Zhang Ziyi is Crouching Tiger, The Hidden Dragon, Rush Hour 2, Hero, Purple Butterfly, 2046, and Memoirs of a Geisha, which is I highlight her one of her best works, besides being Crouching Tiger, The Hidden Dragon, and Rush Hour 2, and mostly all of these listed as her most notable works. Love Unto Death. So they they portray themselves in FMA Whoop-Out as the twin siblings in the Scorpion game. From them, besides being Lion Santos of Chinese descent. And voice casting call, hopefully. I just used to through more than an hour of watching, this video on YouTube. There'll probably be a few more in an hour segment later on. I'm not sure. I kind didn't like, doing it over that time. But I guess people, at least, under 200 can stick around and watch, over, 20-minute video. I guess they won't mind me putting in a 1 hour, video. And regardless, I release it whether you don't like it or not. This has been one of my other longest videos. Thank you. This has been FMA Bitivo. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you.